12 Fix the Country campaigners who were arrested for picketing the law court complex in Accra have been granted bail after their detention for a few hours. The 12 had gone to the courts to listen to the outcome of a case filed by the Ghana Police Service seeking to restrain a street protest they intended to engage in. The injunction itself has been dismissed. The court held that the application is moot because May 9, the date for the protest, which the police did not agree to, has long elapsed. Court correspondent Joseph Akable reports that while the legal arguments were being heard, some of the protesters pitched camp along the road in front of the court, chanting while holding placards with the Fix the Country hashtag.
Because of COVID-19, they are not going to allow us. Where was COVID-19 during election time? Where was COVID-19 when
It was a day advertised for a ruling and possible legal arguments. Some of the campaigners, however, had their own ideas.
They should freeze the country. They should freeze the country. Yes, all of us are lawful. We will still protest. We will still protest. We will still protest.
They held placards along the road in front of the courts. The High Court indicated that it will rule on the injunction application at 1:30 p.m. on Friday. Shortly after this announcement was made, some of the protesters who were taking photographs at the court premises were whisked away by the Ghana Police Service. The court resumed and ruled that the injunction application is moot since it intends to halt a demonstration that should have taken place on May 9.
So, for now, we are more concentrated on what has happened, the arrest. Yeah. So we are pursuing that. After that, we can respond to whatsoever thing the ruling is. Our legal team will respond to that later. But for now, we are concentrated on the arrest of the 15 conveners, okay? And after that, we will talk to you guys. So we are going to the police regional command, for now. So for the ruling, we can't say anything on that. But we are assuring Ghanaians that we are safe because we live in a democratic nation, okay? We are within the remit of the law, so nothing bad will happen to the conveners.
Justice Ruby Aite indicated that should the campaigners intend to embark on any demonstration, they have to go through the laid-down procedure as provided for by law, i.e. they would have to notify the Ghana Police Service of a date of an intended demonstration, and the police service would have to respond. Then afterwards, if they intend to proceed with the demonstration, then if the police disagrees, they would then have to now seek an injunction in that regard to halt the protest. So it's back to the whole process commencing yet again. Reporting for Joy News from the Law Court Complex, my name is Joseph Akable.
And my name is Ansha Ibrahim here in the studio. The 12 Fix the Country campaigners who were granted bail after the arrest Friday say they were not charged with any offense, even though they were made to write their statements. The campaigners, including socialist Ifeodor, were detained for about 3 hours at the Accra Region Police Command while their lawyers negotiated their release. Ifeodor tells my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson she had stepped out the courtroom to interact with some of the campaigners when they were bundled into the backend of the police pickup vehicle.
I was inside the court, and then the judge called for a recess, and we should come back by 1:30 to get a final verdict. So as I came outside, obviously a lot of the conveners were outside to support, and they wanted to take pictures because obviously I'm a public figure, and then they want to show their support. So a few were holding placards, and I guess a whole commotion was going on, and then all of a sudden we see the police. They come with their guns as if we're criminals, and they just aggressively pulled us in, and then that was it.
So you were just taking pictures with the people?
I was just taking pictures with the conveners, yes, after, because we're waiting for the verdicts. So we went on recess. They said we should come back by 1:30, and then so as I was outside with the conveners taking pictures, that's when the police came, and then they aggressively took us in.
Was there anything the police said before arresting you?
No, they said, hey, you come. That's it. They didn't say anything. They were very aggressive, very vulgar. Even in the van, one of the police said, "You should fix the country, but you should fix yourself." I was quiet. I wanted to remain calm. I didn't want to have any kind of, back and forth going on. So I just remained calm. They didn't say anything, so they just picked us up.
So you've been interrogated for quite some few hours now. How many hours? What really happened when you were with the police?
Well, basically, we were inside for about, you can say roughly, it's been like about 3 hours now. They never told us the reasons for our arrest. Nothing. We're just there. They told us to write a statement, and I complied. I wrote my statement. Exactly what I'm telling you now is what I wrote, and that's basically it. So we waited for our lawyers to come. Before we were going to wait for our lawyers to come, but one of the chief officers said that we should write a statement because time may call. So yeah, in short statement, they can even have us detained. So it's best we write a statement, and then we're here now.
So now you've been granted bail.
We've been granted bail.
How do you feel now?
I mean,
Disappointed?
I'm disappointed that we can't exercise our freedom. Why should it be a problem? Why should we even be going to court for people, citizens that want to demonstrate? Why this shouldn't have happened in the first place? The case has been thrown out, and it will keep being thrown out because it's the second time the case has been thrown out. So I'm really disappointed in our system. That it's just a disappointment.
Joining us via Zoom is Prince Kweku with the Fix the Country campaigners. So what next? When are you notifying the police on the next protest?
Thank you very much. I think it will be important to also get the public to be aware of what happened in court today and get them to know the significance of what happened today in court. So the case has been thrown out, and that now we knew from the onset that this case had no significance, but we as law-abiding citizens wanted to also follow the due processes as well, and thankfully it has been reaffirmed that no institution or no system can suppress the fundamental human rights that we have to enjoy as citizens. We want to also use this medium to thank all our supporters and conveners that showed up for our court hearing today in solidarity with us. We appreciate everyone who spent their time, precious time, to be there as well. To answer your question, I mean, I think it's too early, and given the circumstances and given the whole fracas that happened today, it's important for us to all settle down a bit, and then would officially write to the general public about the next subsequent steps going forward.
Have you now been charged? I mean, those who were arrested, have they now been charged? Do you know the charges now?
So, I mean, if you're arresting anyone, you need to inform the person what kind of offense they are committing. We didn't have this, and I think it's important that we condemn the actions of the Ghana Police Service today. I don't think this is the best action to take in a democracy. These are things that are usually characterized in police states, or let's say in authoritarian regimes. I don't think we are in an authoritarian regime, and neither are we in a police state. So I think that they should have gone through the right processes to have at least informed the people on what charge they are being arrested on. We are getting hints that the charge that they want to place on them would be unlawful gathering, but I don't know as to whether it holds any significance or holds any substance. I think that would be for the courts to determine.
We'll be looking out for what next for the Fix the Country campaign. Prince Kweku Ado is a convener for the Fix the Country campaign. Meanwhile, NDC MP for Ningo Pram Samuel George says the rest of the 12 Fix the Country protesters on Friday amounts to a display of intolerance by government. He says the police administration is being used by the NPP government to oppress people who are agitating against poor governance. He's urging the police to behave professionally.
Well, I believe that it's interesting to see the police action. I'm sure that the police will most likely tell you that it was an unlawful assembly or an assembly in defiance of the Public Order Act. But I mean, 10 to 15 persons holding placards demanding that the country be fixed. Is that what the police would want to show their might? The police should be reminded that in fixing the country, their colleagues who escort bullion vans would be given proper protection when they sit in bullion vans if this country is fixed. The police should be reminded that if this country is fixed, the accommodation, the squalor in which many police officers live in our police barracks, which is akin to chickens in a hen coop, will be fixed. And so I honestly think that the law is made for man, not man for the law. And so the police service must be a lot more circumspect in their show of force. You would have expected the police service to have gone shutting down the funerals of Sir John or the crowds that we are seeing accompanying His Excellency the President as he's campaigning. Those are unlawful assemblies. I mean, the crowds that have been lined up, the school children lined up intentionally to await the arrival of the president, is an unlawful assembly, it's an unlawful gathering. Did they seek the Public Order Act? They are more than the protesters. You understand me? But the police is not shutting them down. So we seem to have two regimes of law. You would expect the police to be a little more advanced in their deployment of the law. I mean, what is it if you have 10, 15 people holding placards, simply not obstructing traffic, not being a nuisance to the public, not disturbing the public peace, but simply asking for the country to be fixed? I struggle to see the rationale behind it.